Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not, and now that I've finished the Pick 10 90s, so it is time to stop and rank all 10 movies in the Pick 10 90s that I review for Pick 10 90s too. Uh, I am really on a time crunch right now. It is now 6:24 Central Time. The Flash is on in like a half hour, and I gotta hope the Flash review might be late. Although it might be up by the time I do this because I might just upload this on Thursday, but I want to upload the Flash tonight. But anyway, so we're gonna do this ranking. So we're gonna start with number 10. Now, I did not hate any of these. I thought they were all okay, but definitely the worst one I watched was Sleeping with the Enemy because it felt like they had a premise and they didn't use its full potential. Like you had this premise of a woman running from an abusive marriage. She fakes her own death. She gets away. She goes to Iowa. She changes her name and stuff like that. And then the husband finds out. And he proceeds to kind of connect the dots and figure out where she went. But when he gets there, what does he do? Once he figures out where she is, which is not until the last act of the film, by the way, it takes too long for him to figure it out, which, it just meanders in the middle there where she meets a new love interest and everything. And she acquaints her new life, and then he's just slowly finding this. The best scene in this movie is where she's all dressed up like a man, and he's right there, and she's right there, and they don't, she doesn't see it's him, and he doesn't see it's her, and so they kind of just walk by each other. But performances are good, like I said. But like you get to the end where it's finally he's going to confront her, this guy who we are told and we have seen as very abusive. And what does he do? He rearranges all her cupboards to the way that he wanted stuff arranged. He plays that shining music. He fills her bathtub with water, overflows with water. Yeah, this is not the guy. It's like they were too afraid to make him like completely evil and just go after her until she, when the new boyfriend guy comes in, he punches him, and there's a struggle, and then she shoots him, thinking that's gonna work, right? Like I shot an intruder, but then it's gonna come back. This is her husband who tracked her down because she faked her death, and it's all gonna come back. She could say that, but fingerprints and everything, and it's not gonna just go away. You know what I mean? She's not just gonna be. It's not just going to be a clean sweep under the rug here. But the ending just suggests that it is. So I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely the worst one. But it's not a terrible movie. It's just meh. Now the rest of these were a struggle. But number 9 is The Big Lebowski. I enjoyed every single film from here on out. I thought it was good. But this... actually, I'm gonna flip these ones over. So, I thought it was good. It was just a little weird for me. Some of the stuff, like the dream sequence that he has, but the acting is good. John Goodman is fantastic in this film. I love John Goodman in this film. Jeff Bridges is good, of course, and you got some good comedy stuff, but it's just weird, and it just sort of ends. You know what I mean? Like there's like this, every bad thing that can happen to this guy just happens, and it basically the movie just stuff happens, and it just he keeps going back to his house, and then stuff happens, and then it ends, and it's not really an ending. It's just not that sort of thing. Like it's gonna it's gonna happen, and yeah, I don't know, but it's not bad. It's still good. It's just I don't know. I'll definitely watch it again, but, Number 8 is going to be Double Jeopardy. Now, this is the first one I did. I wasn't sure about this movie when I put it in, but this is a good movie. Again, though, much like with Sleeping with the Enemy, I don't think it's so cut and dry with the ending here, where she shoots her husband, and they say because of the double jeopardy rule, you can't commit you like technically you can't kill your husband twice because he fakes his death and then goes on the run. It's very similar. And then she kills him and you think she's just gonna get away with it, which she does, but that's not how it would work. It's not even how double jeopardy works. You know, I mean, because double jeopardy, you cannot murder the same person twice because they're dead. You know, but this, I don't know, but it's a pretty good thriller. Tommy Lee Jones is good. Ashley Judd is good. Keeps you on your toes. But I liked it better than the last two on here. But yeah. Number 7 is Basic Instinct. This is another case of a good movie with an ending that, yeah, you know, leaves up. Like, the whole thing is framed on his psychiatrist, and he just believes it, even though there are glaring things wrong with this and stuff. Like Gus dies the same way it's written in Catherine's book. A book, I might add, that she was printing the last time he saw Catherine. So how could Beth have possibly known the ending to the book? Yes, she was stalking her, so she snuck in and looked at her book. Did it? I don't know, but and the ending where this gets a nudge above double jeopardy because of the boobs, the tits, you know. But I mean, you see boobs in double jeopardy too, but in here it's like, sorry, I said boobs and now I lost my train of thought. Started thinking of boobs and that's my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, the ice pick thing at the end of the movie where she goes to kill him, but then not. And she made the right decision by not killing him, because if she did kill him and he turned up dead, killed with an ice pick, she's screwed. She's definitely going to go to jail. They're definitely going to try to find her. They're definitely going to know it's her now because of the fact that the supposed person trying to commit the murders is dead. So if Mitch dies, obviously it's Catherine. So she made a right decision by not doing that. Now, she's going to have to hope that he passes out after sex so that she can grab that ice pick and put it back in his drawer or hide it or so. I saw a video saying that the ice pick used to kill Gus was his ice pick. If that was the case, then his prints would be on it and he'd be a suspect. But they never mention it, so I don't think it is. But yeah, it's pretty good erotic thriller. I think it works. It's better than the last two thrillers I talked about, but just a smudge better than Double Jeopardy because of the boobs. There I go again. Anyway, but the acting is great. It's that ending that gets me. Talking in the hallway again. Number 6 is Dumb and Dumber, my least favorite of the Jim Carrey movies that came out in 1994, but it's still a good movie. I still gave it a pretty good. The only one I gave a middle of the road to, I think, was Something the Enemy, but maybe Big Lebowski, which is why I put it there. But this was still good. Great acting, great comedic timing by these two. Jeff Daniels really, keeps up with Jim Carrey, who's just giving it his all here. But it's great. But, out of the 3 that came out that year, I'm going to watch one of those before I watch this. But it's still funny. Great moments. The whole quest they go on really doesn't matter in the end because she's married. And, it's a case of mistaken identity, which could happen. Like, oh, she dropped her bag. But that's not really, the whole thing. But, yeah. Number 5 is Frankenstein Unbound, and it's purely for the cheese factor. is probably the most boobless Roger Corman flick you'd seen, but John Hurt is just fantastic. He is hammed up in this film. Oh yes, Mary Shelley. Yes, have you seen my futuristic car? Ah, yes, yes. Oh, you're going to write a novel, Frankenstein? You have a monster. He's fantastic in this. Raul Julia. Do I have to say it? Raul Julia is great in this. The monster is even good. It's got that amount of schlock, that murder, and you have Jodie Foster. She's fine, but to have Mary Shelley in a story with Frankenstein, it's a little muddled, but I think this is actually a pretty good, story. If you didn't know anything about this and you saw Roger Corman's Frankenstein Unbound, yes, Roger Corman did a Frankenstein flick. I'm putting it in, and then it's set in the future, 2031. Some kids are burying bikes. John Hurt is in a futuristic flying car, and you're going, Frankenstein Unbound, huh? What? And yeah, the ending is a little meh, but like you think about it, it's like he's basically doomed civilization because of his scientific experiments. He has become Frankenstein. It's symbolism. He's created a monster, and the monster has destroyed the world. But Frankenstein's monster didn't destroy the world, but you know what I mean? In a way. But moving on. Number 4 is my most recent review, City Slickers. And this is just fun. PG. I didn't mention this in my review, but it's PG when PG still meant something. There's swearing, cursing, that sort of stuff. I don't know how many times they say goddamn in it in this movie, but it's great. It's a great little comedy. It's got heart and soul, and there's serious moments, there's funny moments. Jack Palance for a short role in this is really good. Billy Crystal is great, of course. Even Daniel Stern, I had to look to see what his name was. Even Daniel Stern is good. And he's, it actually made me think about, I'm 36 years old right now, right? 4 years from now, I'm going to be 40. And it already got me thinking, he's only 39 in this movie. And I'm only 36, and I'm thinking, 39, 40. I don't want to think about being 40. And by the time I'm 40, my son, who is now 11, right now I'm speaking, in 4 years, be 15. 15. Well, let's see. I don't really want to think about it, but so yeah, he'll be 15. He'll be gonna be turning 16 in that August. So yeah, he'll be 15. I don't want to think about that. I don't think about that in 1 year. Just over a year, he'll be a teenager. I remember when he was a little bambino, and now he's almost as tall as me. He's like up to here. When his hair poofs, it's up to here. It tickles my nose. I go, But this movie made me think about getting older. And so it's real something for... I didn't mention that in my review. I should have. This movie made me think about getting older. It's something for guys who are close to 40, I guess, to think about, what have you done in your life when you get out there? And there's a line here where it says, you're in your 20s, and they go by so fast, and you're like, what even was my 20s? And yeah, my 20s were great, but what even was them? What even were they? I don't know English language, apparently. What were they anyway? They went by so fast, and then I'm 30. And now I'm 36. And I'm wondering what happened in my 30s by now, I'm 36 years old. I'm single. I'm a janitor. I'm fat. I live alone. I don't want to drink. But, yeah, it made me think. I hope the second one doesn't do that, but, moving on, because crunch, I got 20 minutes. Number 3 is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. And this was a good watch. Like another one where I'm like, I've seen the second one more because that's the one they play on TV a lot. But this was still pretty good. It is my second favorite of the Jim Carrey movies that came out that year, with the first one being The Mask. I've already said that because that's the one I watched that when I was a kid. But this was still good. A lot of good comedy stuff. He's kind of going... This is where he kind of goes a little bit too much, where there's a lot of stuff in Dumb and Dumber, but this is a lot of stuff, but it was still funny. The stuff with Einhorn as a man, I don't know, probably wouldn't be too appropriate nowadays. What movie was it? Was it Mars Attacks, I think. We'll talk about when we get to Mars Attacks. There's another thing in Mars Attacks I've got to mention in my review, but yeah, I really enjoyed watching it this time, so we're going to keep moving. Number 2 is Wayne's World, party time, excellent, wee. Yes, Wayne's World. Oh yeah, this has to go over here. So Wayne's World is not that bad, you know. I really enjoyed it. I think that Mike Myers and Nick Carvey had great chemistry in this movie. And I think that the comedy is really good. Like the self-referential stuff, like the whole sponsorship stuff with like a Pepsi or a Pizza Hut, or where Gus like covered in Reebok stuff. Funny stuff. Going to the next one. Oh, shit. Number 1. No! Number 1. Shit. Number 1. God! No! Number 1 is Mars Attacks. Ah! Ah! Oh, I brought it back. Okay. Anyway, number 1 is Mars Attacks. Okay? Mars Attacks was the best movie I watched during this. I enjoyed it. The cast was great. I had the best time with this movie. I was laughing my ass off with some of the jokes. Like, the cast was good. They didn't need Jack Nicholson playing 2 roles. What I was going to mention is that they do a joke in here where the president's asking questions, and there's a trans person who looks like a woman but sounds like a man. That joke would not fit nowadays, but you know. Also, they did something like that with Dude, Where's Your Car too. But this was the best movie I watched this entire time. Definitely the best. Gets to be number 1. It has decent special effects. Even for 1996, it still looks pretty good. You know, it's supposed to be schlocky. It's supposed to be a callback to those stuff like The War of the Worlds or Plan 9 from Outer Space, stuff like that. Cheesy stuff. It's supposed to be a callback to that, and it works. So there it is. No cuts this time. The 10, the ranking for the Big 10 90s 2. There it is. Hope you enjoyed it. This was just a fantastic ranking video, I'm sure. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on my ranking? What is your ranking of these 10 movies? Have you seen them all? Leave in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.